Four found dead after blaze. Lubbock ISD mourning two students among those discovered. This was written by Mateo Raciles and Adam D. Young for Lubbock Avalanche Journal, published originally on October 26, 2022. And I'm reading from Lubbock Online. Let's go to Lubbock, Texas. Once again, in Texas. Texas is home to mass shootings. The Lubbock ISD community, and ISD stands for Independent School District, was mourning two students who were among four people found dead after a report of shots fired and house fire early Wednesday in a South Lubbock home. Lubbock police located 46-year-old Angelica Vasquez, 18-year-old Felipe Madrid, 15-year-old Andres Madrid, and 48-year-old William Boyles dead in the house in the 4100 block of 124th Street early Wednesday morning. Police were called to the area at 1:01 a.m. Wednesday for reports of shots fired, according to a statement from LPD. Upon arrival, officers observed the residence showing flames. Once officers realized they were unable to make entry because of the fire, the officers cleared residences to the east and west of the home. Lubbock fire rescue crews were dispatched at 1:16 a.m. and on scene at 1:22 a.m., according to a statement LFR. At that point, the home was fully engulfed. LFR was able to put on fire by 2:09 a.m. and were able to contain the flames to the single residence. Continuing. By early Wednesday morning, police confirmed the four people were found dead inside the residence, but other circumstances, including their cause of death, was not immediately clear. There are some people who will watch this video and say, well, how can you call this a mass shooting? We don't know if all the people were shot in the house. The police were called because of a shots fired call. Number one, that's a problem in itself, because in other countries, the police rarely, if ever, get a shots fired call. But because Americans are so stupid and so obsessed with maintaining the Second Amendment BS, we allow our children to die, and we allow horrible, horrific stories like this to continue to happen. And just presuming, and I'm not trying to, denigrate these people's death or anything like that or trivialize it at all, but how could four people 18 to 48 years old, all stay in a house that's on fire unless they were shot or incapacitated in some way? It's very hard to imagine that these people just sat there and stayed in this burning house. No, they were probably already shot dead or shot and they couldn't get up, and then they were engulfed in flames. Possibly. I'm just presuming. But the main thing in this story that I'm trying to bring up is that the gun violence problem in this country is affecting all people. As you can see by the names, presuming by the names, the people who were victims of this story were mostly Hispanic. It seemed like one guy, Williams Boyles, maybe could have been white or black or whatever. His race or ethnicity doesn't matter. But gun violence is affecting all Americans, and that's what we need to bring home here. I'll continue. Police, no arrest made, no ongoing public threat in Lubbock fire. Lubbock's Metropolitan Special Crimes Unit and the Fire Marshal's Office are investigating. Local and federal investigators remained on scene through much of the morning. No arrests have been made and police do not believe there is an ongoing threat to the public. No additional information was available by late Wednesday. Lubbock ISD released a statement in response to the loss of Lubbock High students Felipe and Andres Madrid. The Lubbock ISD family sends our thoughts and condolences to their family and all those who knew them, the statement reads. Felipe and Andres were both talented and beloved students, and a loss of this magnitude can result in a wide range of emotions as children and adults process their feelings. Lubbock ISD crisis counselors and therapy dogs will be on campus at Lubbock High for the remainder of the week and available as long as needed. Lubbock ISD Superintendent Dr. Kathy Rollo added, the death of Felipe and Andres Madrid is devastating news. On behalf of the entire Lubbock ISD family, I express our heartfelt sympathy to their family, friends, and classmates during this very difficult time. And that's the end of the story, and that's the most that most Americans will hear about the story, because this is common. This is a Wednesday in America. 4 people can be found dead, shot to death in a burning house, and, the high school has to mourn and counsel its students. The trauma spreads throughout the community. The police are traumatized, and the citizens are traumatized. Nobody can feel safe in their own homes, that these because they feel like these sorts of things could happen to them. And Americans continue to buy more guns, to promote the Second Amendment. And the debate and the discussion about gun control in America is only about what? Mental health. No, it's not about the gun manufacturers. It's not about the proliferation of guns. It's not about the proliferation of guns, legal and illegal, that flood our society. It's not about how many people are get their hands on these weapons. It's about mental health, right? It's not. The majority of the time when I'm covering these mass shooting stories, it's not some crazy person running out in the street. These are people doing criminal activities, people caught up in crimes of passion, people who have some beef or anger against another group of people. It's white supremacist terrorists. That sort of thing is what's happening with the gun control, with guns in America. It's not a bunch of crazy people, even though we all know at the same time that another crazy person will one day go into another school, go into another church, go into another supermarket, and lay a bunch of people down. How many more times does this have to happen? Does this have to happen? I don't know. I guess a million before Americans maybe consider some actual national gun control reform. But until then, we're just going to see more of our children die, more of our fellow citizens die to senseless gun violence. This needs to stop. My name is Simon Hill. Abolish the Second Amendment, and thank you for watching.